This is Nina Bartlett. You're watching LCL Report.
Hi, welcome to Low Country Liberty Report. This is Terry and Lupo. Instead of a usual advertisement today, I'd like you to take a look at GeorgiaCarry.org. They're an organization who protects goat owners and carriers like us. Whenever we get in trouble with police or something to do with gun laws, they're always leading the charge. It's only like $15 to join, so stop being stingy and take a look at them. GeorgiaCarry.org. We've got a couple interviews today. We're going to start off with Diana Williams, who is leading the charge against a bill in Georgia that is supposed to be putting registration numbers on all your ammunition. Hi, I'm here with Diane Williams from Georgia State District 43, and she is running for State Senate. And I've got some questions because there's a sturdy rumor going around that there's a bill being introduced to put serial numbers on ammunition. Can you give me an idea what that's about?
Yes, Ronald Ramsey, who's my opponent in the State Senate 43rd District, has put forth a bill, Senate Bill 12, that is going to try to mandate all ammunition have serial numbers, which would make it illegal for you to own your current ammunition now if this bill were passed.
Well, keep us updated on that.
Will do.
Give us an idea. Hopefully you stop that awful bill.
Yes, we will. I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
How can people support you if they want to support a pro-gun candidate?
Go to www.votedianawilliams.com and add me to your Twitter and your Facebook.
Great. Also, we talk with Valerie Meyers, who's running for Congress. Valerie then steers us over to the good fellows from GeorgiaCarry.org. Give me a little bit about...
It's my understanding that it has to do with open carry and more liberal open carry gun laws in the state of Georgia. Right now, they're very restrictive, and what they do is they make people. It says that you can have open carry, but it's really not a legitimate open carry law right now. So what HB 615 attempts to do is correct that.
And where can people find out about your run?
They can go to my website. It's valerieforcongress.com, VALERIE for Congress.com. And if they like what they see, they can sign up to be volunteers. We'd love to have them vote for Valerie.
All right, thanks, girl. What organization are you guys with?
We're with an organization called GeorgiaCarry.org. It's a pro-Second Amendment firearms rights organization working diligently to loosen the restrictions of law-abiding Georgians throughout the state.
And can you guys give me an idea, because I've done some stories before, but for my new listeners, Georgia has a really odd open carry standard that basically is legal to open carry here, but if you have more than two people, it's a group, and now it's illegal. So basically, you just got to hope you don't get robbed by more than two people.
You're really talking about the public gathering.
The public gathering clause.
Open carry is a different issue, and open carry, unlike most states, is illegal in Georgia unless you have a Georgia firearms license. In the state of Georgia, you cannot carry either openly or concealed without a Georgia firearms license.
I gotcha. Now, there is a bill going through right now to expand and kind of clarify the recent gun bill. So if you guys can give me an idea, what is that bill about and what will it expand?
Well, it's House Bill 615, and essentially the crux of House Bill 615 is to try to clarify the public gathering law. Because right now in the state of Georgia, the public gathering law basically enumerates several places where you can't carry. Among them, sporting and athletic events, publicly owned and operated buildings, political rallies and functions, churches and church functions, and then kind of an odd one, which is restaurants that derive less than 50% of their revenue from the sale of packaged food and meals. But the thing that gives us most heartburn about the public gathering law is the law says you have these various 5 things, but not limited to. So it's really very amorphous, and what we're trying to do is have the law really crisply spell out where you can carry and where you can't.
And what are the chances of this happening in a timetable?
I think the chances are fairly good. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done in terms of hashing out what exactly is going to be in the bill and what's not. As the bill stands right now, fundamentally, it's written to allow carry pretty much everywhere except jails and courthouses. I suspect that there's going to be a lot of discussion and a lot of changes made on that. There seems to be a lot of resistance to carry in churches, for one. Probably some piece of restrictions on carry in schools and school zones will still stay, but fundamentally what we're really trying to do is get rid of the ambiguity, because it's confusing for law enforcement and it's confusing for licensed carriers.
I think it's important to note as well that what we're trying to do is not groundbreaking laws. What we're trying to do is in compliance with laws in most states that most of our border states and most states throughout the country are allowing people to do the same things we're asking our legislature to allow us to do as well, legally within the law.
Now, for a guy like me, where I open carry a lot, and that's my form of civil disobedience, I fully expect to be arrested sometimes when I open carry. What will happen for open carry? Is this going to make it so the same laws apply for open as concealed? As House Bill 615 is written, it will allow open carry even if you don't have a license. It will allow open carry as most states will allow you to do without a license, as long as you're legally in possession of that firearm. Gotcha.
Right. So for those out there that say, well, I don't need a firearms license or I don't need a concealed weapons permit, the Second Amendment is my permit, have at it with House Bill 615.
I want to clarify one last question that I forgot to tell you guys, but what are the specifications for gun laws as far as carrying it in an automobile? Like, I wear my gun when I drive. Is that legal? Anyone know?
It is. I mean, basically the current Georgia law specifies that you can carry without a Georgia firearms license in your home, your motor vehicle, or your place of business. In your motor vehicle, it's rather... It has been rather crisply defined that you could carry either in your center console or your glove box. And to carry prior to House Bill 89 in your automobile anywhere other than your glove box or your center console, you had to have a Georgia firearms license, because at that point it was considered basically concealed carry. With the passage of HB 89, which went into effect, I believe, July the 1st, 2008, as a citizen without a Georgia firearms license, you can carry anywhere in your motor vehicle as long as you are not disqualified from having a Georgia firearms license.
What type of things would disqualify someone from having a license here?
Any type of felony, any type of misdemeanor domestic violence, any type of drug possession conviction or nolo plea.
So I'm trying to get an idea. They're linked mainly with violent crimes, so someone like a protester that gets arrested, would they ever be able to carry a gun again?
Not if it's a misdemeanor. Obviously, if it's felony, it's a lifetime disqualifier. But some misdemeanors are okay. Here again, if you're convicted of misdemeanor drug possession or misdemeanor domestic violence, those are automatic disqualifiers.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is there seems to be a lot of people getting arrested recently at protests for free speech things, you know, and I'm wondering if that is now going to affect their carry.
Well, Georgia also has an overburdensome stipulation where if you're convicted of misdemeanor drug possession, you're prohibited a lifetime from ever having a Georgia firearms license in your whole life.
That's
and that
horrible.
means that some kid at 17 or 18 years old gets caught with a small amount of an illegal substance. He's barred for life from ever having a Georgia firearms license.
Yeah, and I'm sure that any of those guys are really going to pay attention to that law after a while, you know. I mean, they're still going to carry. I would think that I would break the law to protect my family.
Sure.
And that's sad that you'd have to do that.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of discussion about whether or not misdemeanor drug possession should constitute a lifetime disqualifier for GFL. It being a misdemeanor crime, it does not prevent you from buying a firearm because it's not a federal disqualifier as far as purchase. But as far as a carry license, currently it is in the state of Georgia.
Thanks so much for the interview. I learned a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. And how can they find your organization, by the way, if they want to answer more questions?
Our website is the same as our organization, georgiacarry.org. You can go to that website, and there's a lot of information there. And there's also contacts for people personally if you want to make a phone call and talk with someone.